to the Big Small Business Show, where we showcase young entrepreneurs who are making an impact in our society. I am Deborah Ezeh, and remember, this show is proudly sponsored by AFRICUNIA, your #1 bio-organic go-to for agricultural produce. On the show today, we get to meet a man who has overcome the barriers set to prevent access to advancement. And this is none other than Emeka Ebeniro, CEO, Seats and Tickets. It's so good to have you on the show. Emeka.
Thank you so much.
You look really, what's the word, charming.
Thank you.
A serious business. So now here comes my big question.
Okay.
What is Seats and Tickets?
So Seats and Tickets is an access platform. We are your go-to company or your go-to guys when it comes to access control. Okay. So what that simply means is at an event, if you want to control the crowd, ensure that the people that enter into the event are the right people. Okay. That's what we do. So the name actually came about from, trying to get, start to finish of an event. So what do I mean? From the moment where you purchase your ticket online, or you register for an event online, to the point where you sit on your seat. The entire process involved, we are the ones that handle it. So that's the inspiration behind it.
Can you take that again? From the process where?
From the moment where you purchase your ticket online, or you register for an event. So if it's a summit, you register from that moment where you register for a summit on the summit website, to the point where you come to the gate to validate your entry, to now finally getting your seat. We are the ones that handle that entire process, that entire flow. So the process flow of registering to sitting on your seat, we handle it. So that was the inspiration behind the name. Seats and Tickets.
Okay, so what's your favorite part about being the head? Let me use the word CEO, the big word. What's your favorite part about being the head of such a big, company overseeing everything?
My favorite part for me, to be honest, is helping people become better. It's not necessarily about bossing people around. My own style of leadership is empowering. So I empower the people that work with me so that they can make the right decisions, because I believe that two heads are better than one. So that's my favorite part. Then the other thing that I love to do is market. Okay. I have a marketing background, so I love to look for business. I do not like doing the operational side of things, although sometimes I find myself doing it, but I've trained people to handle that part. So my favorite part is marketing and trying to bring more business. That's pretty much it.
Rate yourself as a good CEO.
As a good CEO, I believe my workers have not stolen from me, beaten me, or arrested me. So I'm on the same side. So you don't get to rate yourself. They are the ones that will rate you, because from their testimonies and all that. And I have been able to raise, since starting the business, I've also been able to raise other people that have started their own businesses as well.
So it's safe to say that Seats and Tickets has to do with sales, events management, and also people management.
Exactly.
So why did you choose to start and build a career, in this sphere of business?
Okay, it all started. Okay, Seats and Tickets is actually how will I put it? I started the business years ago with my elder brother, who still runs his own business, and we do similar things. And we did that for a period. Now, knowing business and how it isn't so easy to run a business in this country, we got to a point where we had to make a hard decision. There were not enough cash flow. We had staff and everything. So it was either we, lack of a better word, rough it, or we make the hard decision of one person leaves. So I had to leave because the cash flow wasn't working, so we didn't have enough cash flow. So I left and got a 9-to-5. Then in leaving, I worked in the marketing communication industry, consulting and all that. And while I was that, I was a passive partner. So I would market, get business, and get paid commission for it. So it wasn't a case of money, it was more a case of vision. So I had a different vision, I had a different direction. What we were doing was good, don't get me wrong, but I could see a different outcome. I could see a different future. So we went, had a meeting and all that, and I told him, okay, you see, this is what I'm thinking about. And I still had my 9 to 5. And he said to me, and that was one of the things that challenged him, like, if you truly believe in this thing that you say you want to do, why are you still stuck behind a 9 to 5? Why don't you quit your job and go chase it full time? And then you make a mistake, you fail, you succeed, whatever it is, but you know that it is 100% you. And that was the point where I now decided, you know what, I was going to start Seats and Tickets. And I told him, like, you know, I'm starting this company, Seats and Tickets, and this and this and that. And he was like, okay, fine, go ahead and do whatever you want to. And that was how it started.
Sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
You see, for me, I feel the most challenging part about business is people management.
Yeah.
It's a very tedious, you know, aspect of business.
Yeah.
So how do you cope with managing? Because I'm sure you deal with so many people.
I deal with so many
people.
Yeah.
So how do you manage? How do you cope?
I've learned to be patient with people. I've also learned to believe in people's ability. Now, the other thing that I've also learned from sisters, which has been hard, but I've finally learned it, is communicating in the language that people understand.
Right.
So I think at the initial point, I made a lot of mistakes because I felt, the way I speak to Deborah will be the way I'll speak to some other person, or the way I relate to Deborah is the way I relate to someone, but it doesn't work that way. In managing people, we're all unique individuals. If you can identify the pattern, the language, the style that works for this person, then you tailor your leadership and your management to that person. Now, I give an example. In my team, I had someone, she was a leader in the team, but she wasn't very outspoken, but she had very good people skill. She was persuasive. She could convince you to get things done, but she wasn't hard. So she didn't know how to punish people for the flaws and the errors, but she could convince them to get things done. So when I discovered that, I was like, okay, you know what? I've been making mistake all along. Why don't I use her for this other part that has to do with persuading people to get things done? And I use this other person for this part that is the enforcer. If you mess up, you get punished. When I did that, separated those two roles, I got more results. So it wasn't a case of, you know, using one person to play multiple roles. And it's worked in my organization. We had a meeting lately and I decided, you know what, I want, based on people's strengths, I want them to handle the different aspects of the business. And it's not necessarily that, one person, because I studied accounting or because I studied this. You might study, but you might not be good in it. But there might be some other person that didn't study it, but has that natural ability and talent.
I like that.
All the person needs is just some form of training and coaching, and they step up to the plate.
Now, it's been an interesting section for the first part. So when we come back, we talk about the money-making part.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
That's actually the most important part.
I love it.
So we'll go on a short break now, and when we'll come back, like I said, we'll discuss the money-making part of Seats and Tickets. Stay with me. Welcome back, guys. I still have with me Emeka Ebeniro, CEO of Seats and Tickets. And now we want to talk and dive into the money part.
Yeah.
So we all know the government do little or none at all in generating money for youth like yourself and myself. So now, this whole Seats and Tickets concept, do you need license from government, promotional license to get money, or how do you make money from this sphere of business? Okay,
so we make money mostly from private sector.
Okay.
So which is individuals that want to have their events. So we all know the Dirty December period, and a lot of those events are powered by, you know, independent promoters and companies, and that's how we make money. So they give us the opportunity to ticket their event and also control the crowd and do one or two other things at the event. For licensing, because we are not every sector is licensed. So if you are in the transport, airline and some other sectors, yes, you need license, yes, you need to be under a particular level, but because this is more like an independent individual business, we are not licensed. However, in the future, we are working towards going into airline, or basically doing everything ticketing. So from road transport, air, rail, everything ticketing. That's the future for us. So we're working towards that. So
for someone really young, I must say that's really phenomenal.
Thank you so much.
Okay, now I want you to tell us advantages of your business.
For us, it's okay. When we first started, people didn't see the reason why they should have professionals handle some aspect of their events. Okay. And like we all know, if purpose is not defined, abuse is inevitable. So because the purpose of that event wasn't clear, a lot of these guys didn't find the reason. But as we kept educating them and showing them case studies, the before and after effect, they began to adapt it. So I give a typical example. If you are at an event, you paid your hard-earned money, and the event is not properly put together, you will be furious, you will be livid, you will not be happy. Now imagine if the process was smooth. You bought your ticket, you got there, they scanned it, they gave you your wristband, they ushered you to your seat, you didn't, no stress. You would love that process. Now, we are the ones that ensure you get that better customer experience, that experience that you want. So in doing that, a lot of people usually, or before now, used to think, I know, I'll get my sister, I'll get my cousin to be part of it. But they are not professionals. They don't understand how these things work, how to attend to customers. Like you said, people management, how to, selling tickets. Accountability is also a big part of our business. We always give our clients post-event reports. And in that report, it tells you how many people attended the event, what time did they attend, and so many other things that would help you prepare better for your next event.
Okay, so everything good has a little of disadvantage.
Okay.
Nothing is perfect.
Okay.
So, let us into your word of disadvantages of your business. Let me put it that way. What are the disadvantages? The cons to this whole sit and ticket, idea.
Okay. The cons for me would be two things. One would be people. One would be technology.
Okay.
We've not moved at the pace that we want to move because the acceptance or adoption rate here is really low compared to our counterparts in other parts of the world. Let's not go far. Compared to our counterparts in South Africa.
Okay.
So I give an example. Before starting Seats and Tickets, I actually traveled to do some research and also look for partners. So in a country like South Africa, if you're having a small picnic, you have admission control, ticketing, access control.
Really?
Yes. If you're having a jazz festival, so they don't wait like we do, like we wait for 30 December, and that's why you not really experience the ticket. They do it all year round. So from religious organization meeting to corporate meeting to different genres, meeting to film festivals, theaters and all that, they do ticketing all year round. But the bulk of our job comes at the end, and that's because the adoption, a lot of people have not started adopting this whole buy ticket online scan. Now the other side is now the people. Getting the right people to work with you that are passionate and that can get this job done hasn't been easy.
Okay.
So those are the two parts that, I'll say,
Okay, so
cons.
what does it look like in your business? At what point can you say, oh, I'm really proud of myself?
Okay.
I think I need it. So what does success really looks like for you?
Okay, for me, there are two parts of it. There is the monetary part and there is also the customer satisfaction part.
Okay.
So from the customer satisfaction part, success to me is planning, executing, and getting the client to tell you thank you. You did a fantastic job. So much so that they go out there and they tell everybody and they post it and pretty much acknowledge what you have done, which is good. Now from the monetary part of it, success to me and to us will be when we handle things beyond what we currently handle. What we currently handle are concerts, this person's concert and all that. Now success to us will be when we now start handling political rallies, election, examination, documentation, access control, things managing an estate access control, things that are beyond that scope. So to me, that would be success. So it's not just ticketing events, but doing the core of our business, which is access control and, like you said, people management. So that would be success to me.
So finally, we've actually come to the end, but what would be that one takeaway you have for people who aspire to be like you? Because definitely if they watch this, they would aspire to like run or have a business like yours. So what's that one takeaway you have for those people that want to be an entrepreneur, that want to start businesses like Sit and Ticket?
So one thing I would say is, actually more than one thing, do your homework, because business is a learning curve. You don't just start a business today and believe that you figured it out. So you learn, you do your homework, you learn as you move along. The other thing I would also say is, don't give up on yourself. That's very important, because entrepreneurship is really lonely. It's really hard. It's fun, but it's lonely and hard at the same time. So one thing that happened to a lot of entrepreneurs is they end up giving up on themselves and they abandon the business, they go into other things. Every business is successful. Every line of business is successful. And if you want to come into the ticketing or the event management side of business or side of things, I would say that please come along. We need you. We need more people like you. You know, you might not necessarily be doing it exactly the way we are doing it, but I guarantee you there are other places within the ecosystem that you can feel. So please come along, believe in yourself, and keep learning.
It was amazing diving into your world, Emeka.
Thank you so much.
CEO. Thank you so much for sharing your space with me.
Thank you.
So guys, that's all we have for you on the Big Small Business Show today. Thank you, AFRICUNIA, for making today's episode possible. I'm Deborah Ezeh, and remember to always dream big, stay focused, and make it happen.